I'm leaving now.
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one? Just one little thing.
Mr. Runser, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Wait! I haven't finished with you. I told you we're closed.
We're not here to buy, little man. We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. That is the price for humility.
Oh, please, don't.
And what else might we interest you in today, sir? Perhaps some virtue?
Not my animals, please. I'm begging you.
But what of honor, little man? At what price? Honor.
Oh my God, no! That tiger is the rarest specimen ever seen.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The forest of the night.
BR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
I was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the 2nd sector.
BR 61661, report to division headquarters, code 3, repeat code 3.
Last time I had a 3 was when some hooker vomited Thunderbird on Bryant's desk, and yours truly led the cleanup crew. Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest work I'd seen. Where's Captain Bryant?
Took a sick day. Got himself a heinous case of ptomaine poisoning. He asked me personally to run the unit in his absence.
Gouza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, because it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all jammed up. Holden's sucking dinner through a straw. Gaff's working the Tyrell break-in and Steele's working special undercover. Looks like you got this one by default.
You really know how to make a girl feel wanted.
Animal murder done at Runciter Zoological. Probably just be a schizoid glitz, but we got the call. Old man Runciter lost something like 1 billion chinions worth.
10 to 1, this ain't a job for Rep Detect.
You got something better to do? Perfect your French cooking, maybe?
Slumming tonight, Slim?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers out.
What happened?
Couple of fours were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. I dressed up like a nurse, they never had a chance.
I'll bet. You put him on the machine?
Hell no! There's a beautiful little thing in here called the Magic, and it ain't ever been wrong. You develop it, you got a brilliant career ahead of you.
I'm working on it.
What's Gouza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runciter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-world paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
Animal sales was a profitable and prestigious business since most real animals had died out after the Terran War. There were plenty of electric ones, though, powered by rechargeable batteries. No self-respecting human would own one of those frauds.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ?
Find something?
Ông đó đang nhìn
Piece of chrome.
From a car?
No, I think it's horse chrome.
tôi rất
Bag it and tag it.
đang làm nhanh.
What do you know?
About 30 counts of animal murder and 1 of aggravated assault. The shop's been thrashed. You ought to see
Xin
this
hỏi cái
tiger
chỗ
cub they
cảnh
got
sát
in
ở đâu
there.
ạ?
It's a goddamn tragedy.
How's old man Runciter holding up?
Đang làm nhanh.
State of shock. He's been moaning and complaining about his world caving in.
You'd feel the same way if they were your animals. How many perps?
Mấy giờ tôi thấy
At least 2. Bloody footprints all over the scene.
Must be a delightful sight. Find anything else out here?
Zilcho. Row actions inside. Abstract art. All over the walls and ceiling.
I never did appreciate art.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ? Mấy giờ tôi phải tới đây?
Scratches and paint flecks, and I knew what they meant. Unless the city had bought a jet black fire truck, somebody had a big fat
Ông đó
traffic
đang
ticket
làm-
coming.
Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ? Ông đó đang nhìn mình. Mấy giờ tôi phải tới đó đó?
Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair.
I'm ruined. Totally ruined.
McCoy, LPD.
I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was 2 men acting in concert with her, obviously.
Obviously. What'd they look like?
big and scary and absolutely malevolent.
Stick around. I may not be finished with you.
I'm ruined. Totally ruined. My precious one. She was my baby.
Tell me about this Lucy.
There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for a short while. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing.
How'd you find her?
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone. And he's a very reputable wholesaler.
You treat her well?
As well as any young tot should be treated.
She got a desk? Or someplace where she worked?
She used to eat over there. My precious one. She was my baby. All my animals.
A toy dog. Well, isn't that cute? Well, isn't that cute? A candy bar. Yuck. Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself.
I'm ruined. Totally ruined.
You got any discs from that camera?
It's irrelevant. Those murderers also destroyed the camera. Thousands of Chinyans worth.
Maybe it photographed them before they shot it out.
I guess you've got a point at that. I believe this is the disc from last night.
Peachy. See if you can dig up that reference from Ogilvy's.
Yes, it's somewhere here. Just a moment. Here you are.
Can you think of anything they might have been after?
First I thought they wanted money, but I don't keep any in the shop. Then I thought they wanted to steal my animals, but they started executing them.
Could they have been replicants?
Who else would be capable of such barbaric acts?
You ever do any business with the replicant manufacturers, Tyrell Corporation?
I resent that accusation.
Just wondering.
Officer, last May I personally sold Governor Colvig an exquisite Bergeron coat. I have been a guest at his house on 3 separate occasions. Do I look like I need to carry artificial product?
So, if we do the bone marrow in these animals, there won't be any surprises.
Don't you have anything better to do with the taxpayers' money than perform superfluous autopsies?
Do you know anybody who works at Tyrell Corporation?
A couple of genetic designers are old friends of mine.
Such as?
Well, you know how tight security is there. It would be a betrayal of trust to mention names. And they have nothing to do with this.
I assume you're talking about some of those fruitcakes on DNA Row.
That's a horrible thing to say about people, Detective.
Sorry. Stick around. I may not be finished with you.
I'm ruined. Total.
It didn't add up. Animal murders, the lack of any theft, the small animals alone were worth a good chunk of change on the street. It seemed more like an act of vengeance.
Cái đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon. Tôi rất mong á, ông đó đang nhìn mình. Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ? Tôi rất mong á, anh đang làm nhanh. Cái đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon. Mấy giờ tôi phải tới đó? Ông đó đang nhìn mình. Tôi rất mong á, anh đang làm nhanh. Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ? Cái đồ ăn ở đó rất là ngon. Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh sát ở đâu ạ? Tôi rất mong á, anh đang...
Find anything else out here?
This woman says she saw that kid who worked for Runciter hanging around with a big fat guy last week.
Find anything else out here?
This guy lives across the street. Says he heard a crash late last night. Looked out his window and saw a black sedan speeding away from the scene.
Find anything else out here?
Zilcho. Row actions inside. Abstract.
Interesting.
Ông đó đang nhìn mình.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair.
About 30 counts of animal murder and 1 of aggravated assault.
Howie Lee's, in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself.
أي ساعة لازم أكون هناك؟ وبعدين معاها
Tôi rất mong á, anh Lan nào nhanh. Xin hỏi cái chỗ cảnh
بعدين
sát ở đâu
معاها
ạ?
المركز وين؟
Beautiful night, isn't it?
When business thriving, night always beautiful.
This from your place, isn't it?
Could be. Chopstick come from Yoshi's restaurant supply.
What's real fresh tonight?
Special shipment of Toro just arrived. I fix you right up. No one else. Clean as a whistle.
You're Prince, Howie. See you later, Howie. Hey, big guy.
Busy. No time for talk.
McCoy, itazura suru na. You want something, you talk to me.
Sorry, Howie.
Got to mix more out back.
McCoy, LPD. I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sorry, my man. I just don't got the time.
You got anything that's a match for these? Are you taking any drugs? Excuse me, pal. Howie says you're a master chef.
You not come back here. Air bad.
This'll only take a minute. I'm looking for a girl, about 14 years old with pink hair. You seen her?
I don't know her.
Stick around. I might want to talk to you later.
Laboratory. Mainframe and shooting range. Ground floor. Lockup.
Got anything new for me, Dino?
I was wondering when you'd show your mug around here, McCoy. We got the animal corpses from Runciter's, but there wasn't a whole lot to work with.
Bone marrow?
About 50% were real, the rest were fakes.
So, Runciter was ripping his customers off.
State-of-the-art fakes. Miles beyond the crap you see on Anamoid Row.
The kind that comes from legit manufacturers?
They're the ones that usually produce the quality.
What about the wounds?
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Butcher knife?
Could be, but who cuts meat anymore?
Nice bunch of reps I'm tailing. Hope you're not pulling a meat cleaver out of my back next week. Anything else?
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car.
You sure?
The angle of impact was almost head-on. And there ain't too many spinning drivers klutzy enough to smack a street-level hydrant in VTOL mode.
I heard your wife got her license back.
You're a real funny guy, McCoy.
Anything else?
That piece of chrome you found outside of Runciter's is from a 1995 Pontiac.
Nice set of wheels.
It's okay, not what I call a classic.
Anything else?
Zip, man. Try me later.
Laboratory, mainframe, and shooting range.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%, according to the latest figures from the Department of Justice. Governor Kolvig attributed the change to the dramatic increase in the number of specials registered as city residents and promised a tough new set of standards for the City Immigration Bureau by next month.
Old copies of case files, notices, and memos. The usual station junk. Lucky Strikes. Crystal's brand. I knew she was spending a lot of time in the training maze these days, even though she'd already gotten close to a perfect score.
Well, if it ain't Ray McCoy, Bryant finally letting you play with the big boys.
My clearance come through?
You bet. You bring your piece?
Don't leave home without it.
Steele's been running the maze every other day for 2 weeks, and the targets are getting a little roughed up.
I thought Guzzo was going to requisition some new ones.
I ain't seen him down here in a month. Guess he's been busy.
Poor guy. I bet he gets all tuckered out from pushing those papers around.
And don't sell him short, McCoy. Guzzo could be one tough hombre. I remember when we worked mice together. He poured acetone on 2 pimps that gave us some lip and lit a match. I'll tell you, it looked like the goddamn 4th of July out there.
Peachy. You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last couple of days.
You keeping busy, pal?
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete. Uploading personal download clue data. Scanning video disk. 2 enhanceable images found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Runciter crime scene.
A sushi menu from Howie Lee's. Give me a hard copy of that.
Runsitter crime scene.
He looks familiar. Give me a hard copy of that. A black ground car. Looks like it's been around the block a few times. Give me a hard copy of that. He looks familiar.
Uploading personal. Download. Clue.
This woman says she saw that kid who worked for Runsitter hanging around with a big fat guy last week. This guy lives across the street. Says he heard a crash late last night.
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for two very...
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant, it's from...
scratches and paint flecks, and I knew what...
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone, and he's a very reputable wholesaler.
Howie Lee's. Bryant once got food poisoning there, so he shut it down for a couple of months. Now it was always good for a freebie.
There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for a short while. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this?
This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354, conducting the interrogation of Spencer Gregorian, leader of CARS, Citizens Against Replicant Slavery, November 22nd, 2019.
I once again asked that my attorney...
Shut it, shitbird. I'm asking the questions. We've already put you on the machine, so we know you're not a skin job.
That term offends me.
Okay, so you're not one of those biomechanical scumbags, and you claim to not know anything about the bombing at Tyrell.
This is true. We advocate equal rights under the law for replicants. We have nothing against Tyrell Corporation for creating them.
That's some sick logic.
The replicants are living organisms, whether people like you like it or not. Replicants contribute greatly to the economic well-being of our culture. They cannot be discounted as such.
Hell, it'd be no skin off my nose if each and every one of them was hosed down for good. You ever see this guy?
Why, yes. Actually, I have. He was present at the protest. He's not part of our group, but outsiders are usually welcome.
How many new faces showed up that day?
Not too many. A handful at most.
Describe them to me.
I don't know if I can.
Oh no? Recording off. Describe them to me again.
Just the Rastafarian fellow. And that friend of his. A slim blonde man, Asian, with a ponytail. Can I see my attorney?
Bravo, Spencer. You've done your civic duty for the day. This is Crystal Steele, badge number BR61354. Still working the explosion at the Tyrell manufacturing plant. It'll take a day or so to analyze the debris, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're dealing with a bomber here. Right now, it looks like the protesters had nothing to do with it. They were in too close proximity to have been in on the deal. No MOs or identities are rolling up just yet, and I'm still going through the inset files to see if any replicant munitions experts are unaccounted for.
Mainframe and shooting ground floor.
What do you know?
Zero that would interest you, Detective.
Bryant go on permanent leave and you get full use of the office, Lieutenant?
You know the procedure. Dump it all in the mainframe upstairs and I'll read it later.
You got it. Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
We'll get back out there. Those reps ain't retiring themselves.
Yeah, suicidal targets would make my job a lot easier.
Everybody's got a job, kid.
Lockup.
Are they letting me out?
I'm not the one who makes that decision.
I suppose it's my turn to bear the cross for the cause.
You're Spencer Gregorian, right?
No. I really think my lawyer should be here.
I'm gonna give you a little test.
The other detective. She already tested me earlier today.
Uh-huh. Look, I gotta check out the equipment, and you're the only stiff around.
I object to this treatment. If you'll just call my lawyer, he'll take care...
Your lawyer would tell you I got the authority to VK the mayor if I want. And he'd have to smile and nod and kiss my butt until I cleared him. So sit down. Reaction time is a factor in this, so please pay attention. Where do you live?
3rd sector, uptown.
Nice neighborhood?
Very. Is this going to take long?
Just keep your pants on, Spencer. You're crying. Why is that?
Crying? It's nothing to be ashamed of. I might cry for any number of reasons.
I'll bet. What's the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to you?
I'm not answering that.
You see an oversized book with pictures of exotic animals on the cover. The title is Big Game Hunting in Zaire.
And let me guess. Pictures of dead animals inside.
Curious, you flip it open. There's a picture of a man standing with his foot on a dead Cape buffalo. You find yourself fascinated. You keep paging through it, seeing picture after picture of animals laid to waste, each more gruesome than the last.
These questions are becoming predictable, Detective.
For your anniversary, your spouse gives you a real goldfish.
I donated to a family that couldn't afford an animal.
You have a little boy. He shows you his butterfly collection, plus the killing jar.
I take him to a psychiatrist.
You've been kidnapped. Your captors tell you that you'd better think about what you did to deserve this.
I try to reason with them.
You rent a mountain cabin. On the walls, someone has hung old maps and Currier and Ives prints. A deer's head is mounted above the fireplace. A full stag with developed horns.
I'd leave.
You return from work to find that your home has been burglarized.
I'd call the police.
Your child comes home with a black eye.
I'd call the school.
You've been drafted into the Army. During a boot camp hazing, you're bound, blindfolded, and forced to eat worms.
Hazing's illegal.
Oh yeah, you're really worried about breaking the law. Wonder why I'm the one on this side of the bars.
Civil disobedience has a long history in our world.
So does genocide, but I ain't out butchering my neighbors.
Test terminated.
Ruth.
Stick around. I might want to talk to you later. How long has that chef worked for you?
Zubin? Just month. Superior chef makes all kinds of new suits.
This from your place, isn't it?
Yes, sir. You do Huawei favor? Distribute all through our police station?
See you later, Howie. There's a test I'd like you to take. It won't take too long.
Test? What kind of test?
Kind of a personality test. Totally routine.
Routine? Ah.
Locked. How long has that chef worked for you? Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. Yuck. 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 Locked. Locked. See you later, Howie.
Laboratory.
Anything else?
Zip, man. Try me later.
Uploading personal clue. Download. Clue database track. Run sitter crime scene.
A black ground car. Looks like it's been around the block a few times.
Rumor has it you've been earning your stripes, McCoy.
Working on it.
Keep it up. You just might have a future in this business.
I understand it's got a hell of a retirement plan.
You VK the mark before retirement?
Didn't have to.
That's why they call it the magic.
I'm starting to understand.
You ever retire a human, your career is over. Remember that. I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that Moonbus massacre last month.
They ever find the moon bus?
Disappeared into thin air. Brian thinks it crashed out in the Kipple.
How many reps we talking about?
Enough. They're Nexus 6s, so don't take too much slack.
Gotcha. Yuck. Yuck.
Your floor number, please.
Roof. Ground floor. Apartments.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
I lived with the best gal I'd ever seen. She'd cost me about a year's salary, but she was worth it. Good doggy. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Good doggy.
chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity and adventure. Skies and sunny days await you in the off-world colonies. Off-world colonies offer a fresh start and never-ending opportunities. Live the way you've always wanted to, with a servant custom-made to suit your needs. A new life awaits you in the off-world colonies. The chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity and adventure. Off-world colonies offer a fresh start and never-ending opportunities. Blue skies and sunny days await you in the off-world colonies. A new life awaits you in the off-world colonies. The chance to begin again in a golden land off-world colonies offer a fresh start and never-ending opportunities. Off-world colonies offer a fresh start and never-ending opportunities.
Portrait of the sleep-deprived.
Got your delivery here, man.
What?
Kingston Kitchen.
Oh, yes, right. Hold on.
Is this what the gravity be like on Mars?
Oh, no. It's about a third of what we got here on Terra. Real comfy. How about turning that dial, okay? When I say...
Please, can you control your rat?
I'll have you know that Ricky's a purebred Chihuahua, and he's totally real.
Things going good at Tyrell Corporation?
Boring, boring. Old man Tyrell's been on a Wagner kick lately. He never shuts up.
You also do outside work?
Sweetie, I never go outside. It's bad for the glands.
How about Nexus 6? You know a lot about them?
I think you should be going now.
Understand good, it holds deep meaning for me now. Where be your research on Nexus 6? I need test studies, contacts, the works.
Only simulator! Extra terrestrial gravity.
One more minute, you be swallowing this explosive. 3 more minutes, they be hosing you off the True Life building across town.
No, I swear. I don't have anything. If I did, I'd give it to you.
My people sick and dying. You tell me something.
Talk to Dr. Tyrell.
Tell me something I don't know.
The organ designers, Miraji, Hannibal Chu, Luther and Lance, they're closer to him than I am.
Where?
DNA Row. They're all working down on DNA Row.
You one miserable package, man.
No! No, please, don't!
Pick up.
Hope you aren't camped out there with a bottle of tequila.
Very funny.
Early bird slays the worm, McCoy.
Don't worry, I'm up, Lieutenant. What's the buzz?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building.
Inside?
That's right. But we also got a sweet little break on it. Tyrell's surveillance system recorded the whole shebang.
Beautiful. How many perps?
Just one. I don't know if it's related to the Runciter deal or not. Tyrell Security will have the disc for you when you get there. You'll be good, killer.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%, according to the latest figures from the Department of Justice. Governor Kolvig attributed the change to the dramatic increase in the number of specials registered as city residents and promised a tough new set of standards for the City Immigration Bureau by next month.
Maggie, come here, girl. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Maggie, come here, girl. Good doggy.
Your floor number, please.
Hey, pal.
It's high time someone got them illegals off the street.
Hey, pal.
It's high time someone got them illegals off the street.
Bryant go on permanent leave and you get full use of the office, Lieutenant?
You'd be amazed at how accommodating a man can be after his hemorrhoids get lanced. You really been surprising the troops around here, kid. Gaff says you worked at retirement like a champ.
Just doing the job.
Yeah, well, don't get too cocky. Those sixes can be damn unpredictable.
That I know.
Payments is wiring the advance to your account as we speak.
How much?
Couple hundred Chinian. Enough to buy a sandwich or two. We gotta hold back the rest until the lab does the autopsy. Paperwork, you know. Shouldn't take more than a couple of days.
So, the check's in the mail?
Hey, don't worry. The boys upstairs want to keep our best and brightest happy. Any idea what you want to spend it on?
I was thinking maybe a companion for my animal at home.
Forget that. Buy yourself something nice. Once you start carving up that juicy bacon, kid, the taste never goes away. The great things in life, believe me, you'll just be wanting more and more.
Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
Well, get back out there. Those reps ain't retiring themselves.
Yeah, suicidal targets would make my job a lot easier.
Everybody's got a job, kid.
Your floor number, please.
McCoy, LPD.
Just a minute.
Where do I go?
Grav test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look at the man's face.
How'd he get past you guys?
He pretended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduller ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boys need with replicant DNA sequences and incept dates?
Jesus. I seen worse, but not by much.
Learn anything?
You could strain him through a sieve.
Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. Disgusting. 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 I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. I'd seen more dead animals than and now it was I thought about a takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? I'd seen more dead animals than live, and now I thought I'd seen more, and now I thought this earring yours?
Maybe it belonged to that other cop who was up here, the babe with the shades and the cigarettes.
Ain't her style. Call her babe to her face, you're liable to end up with a severe limp. You spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
You spot anything you think I ought to know about?
Absolutely.
Disgusting. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe?
Lagging behind again?
Gouza didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the Moonbus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
Do you know anything about Tyrell's computer system?
Security's tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisenduller's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. Tyrell keeps his files safer than he keeps his employees. You friendly with Eisenduller?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisenduller, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside, and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Grub test chief engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisenduller's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
Kingston Kitchens. Where have I heard that before?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus...
You know who deals in insects down here?
You don't want insects? They're no good companion. But fish. Fish are good. I have every kind of fish for you. Blowfish, dorado, miniature sailfish. Very friendly.
No thanks. I got a dog at home.
Fish just as good as dog.
No, my dog is real.
Real? Oh, you must make lots of money.
Let's get back to insects. Official LPD business.
Down at end of Animal Row, you see big green sign? You try there. Good luck with dog, friend. Hope he stays healthy.
She. Excuse me, pal. McCoy, LPD. This your work?
Ah, the dragon.
Dragon?
See? Anosoptera. Dragonfly, late of the American South Swampland.
You sell jewelry with dragonflies?
Item like that, very special significance. Very rare, senor. Estate item, and most likely part of large collection. Person must have plenty money to obtain a collection.
More than I can afford.
You try Hawker's Circle. Might want to trade for this. With luck, you may find.
If this is from a collection, I'm also looking for the other pieces.
I make you a deal. I found out where to get dragonfly jewelry. Then you buy a piece, right? For special lady friends? You come back later.
I'll do that.
You take care, chasing the dragon.
Might I interest you in a snake lover one?
Not today, thanks.
Two minutes. That's how much time I give every stranger that wanders in here off the street.
Sell a lot of stuff that way?
I don't encourage browsers. What impresses me are people who know what they want and are not afraid to pay for it.
What's the most expensive thing you got in here?
Value is a relative notion. What's significant to you might be meaningless to me.
And vice versa.
Everything here is guaranteed. The finest, most authentic anyone can get.
Let me tell you what I want, and maybe I'll impress you.
All my paperwork is in order.
Doesn't matter. I don't read anyhow. What's your name?
Ezo.
Ever consort with a group called CARS? C-A-R-S?
CARS. What is that?
Citizens Against Replicant Slavery.
I don't have time for such pursuits.
How about Spencer Gregorian?
The same goes for him, whoever he is.
Funny, because he described you to a T. Even down to that stupid little ponytail you got.
It's called a chomagi.
What would you say if I told you Gregorian named you as one of the people who was there when the Tyrell building blew up?
There's a mistake somewhere along the chain of communication.
So, you're denying all involvement?
I won't lie to you, Detective. There was a time in my life when I might have been involved with such an organization. I actually cared. But now, all I care about is my business. I am nothing but a humble salesman. Perhaps I can interest you in this camera. 100 years ago, it was a cherished item. Whole families sat for portraits.
I've seen plenty of photographs in my time.
Have you ever seen this?
That's impossible. That's impossible.
I am not about to have all my hard work obliterated just because you stumbled into my shop, Detective. Westerners need guns and hardware. All I need is will.
You blew your retirement loop this time, Slim.
What are you doing here?
Tracking this piece of shit. What are you doing here besides putting your nuts on the chopping block?
Investigating Izo. Maybe we should compare notes.
Maybe you should find another line of work. Just in case I'm not around to bail you out next time. I'll wait for the uniforms. Why don't you grab yourself a slice of quiche or something? And pick up a bottle of scotch for the real Blade Runner, will ya? Just kidding, Slim.
Nothing more to find. Hey.
Been pretty busy, haven't you, Slim? Describe them to me again.
Just the Rastafarian fellow. And that friend of his. A slim blonde man, Asian, with a ponytail. Can I see my attorney?
Bravo, Spencer. You've done your in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. You know the Moonbus massacre that went down last month? The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth, and one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boys need with replicant DNA sequences and incept dates?
I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that Moonbus massacre last month.
They ever find the Moonbus?
Disappeared into thin air.
There were off-world rifles here and more. Grenades, explosives, modern rifles, even some police-issue restricted weaponry. Izo wasn't some small-time fence, but a big-time arms dealer. The exact arms that renegade replicants would be looking for to survive in the big city. Nothing else there. Nothing else there. Are you taking any drugs? I got a couple of questions for you, Captain.
First one's on the house. The rest you pay for. You want chit-chat, you hire a hooker. This ain't no social club.
Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one good one.
Step up. Mama Isabella cooked you something special. Put a glow in your cheek.
McCoy, LPD. Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Questions? They always need answers.
You send a lot of deliveries over to Marcus Eisendaler at the Tyrell building?
Eisendaler. Oh, Eisendaler, yeah. Let me tell you, that man can't eat.
Send anything over lately?
No, sir. No deliveries to him no more. Not since last month. He be way behind on his bill.
Not for a month, eh?
At least. No more till him pay up.
You may have a little trouble collecting. He's dead. That stew's looking tasty.
Fix you right up. Only 30 chinion. It put a spring in your step, man. The ladies, they be loving you.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your time.
Tôi rất mong anh nào nhanh. Tôi rất mong anh nào nhanh.
Interesting. Locked.
That a 45 blaster under your coat, or you just happy to be here?
You got good eyes.
They ought to be. They're the only organs of mine that survived the Phobos Wars intact.
Ray McCoy, Rep Detect.
Blade Runner, huh? How come I never heard of you?
I just got assigned.
Yeah, I'm kind of buddies with Davy Holden. How's he doing?
Word is he's gonna be okay.
That skin job must have been pretty damn quick getting by Davy like that. He's the best in the business.
He'll be back on the job soon. You got any decent ammo for my piece?
You mean the good stuff? 'Cause I know them police-issue spitballs just don't cut it.
Not these days.
Yeah, I know how it is. If you want to drop a skin job, you need a little extra oomph. I got a few clips around here somewhere, if you got the chin yen for it.
Okay, let's have it.
You want to make it as a Blade Runner? You ought to do your own investigations. You want to make it as a Blade Runner? Hey, put that away!
I'm gonna put something away, but it ain't gonna be my gun.
Little boys shouldn't play with guns.
Jesus. Jesus. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row. There were off-world rifles here and more. Grenades, explosives, modern rifles, even some police-issue...
See? And a Subterra. Dragon.
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building.
Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one. Thanks for your time. I was fresh out of Leeds. Poking around Hawker's Circle had been a waste of time. I had nothing to connect this Ezo character to the Eisendaler murder. But if the replicants had done in one Tyrell scientist, maybe they'd go after another. And the subcontractors down on DNA Row didn't have Tyrell security to protect them.
Mainframe and shooting range.
During his last election campaign, Governor Kolvig promised a bold new plan of action to clean up the worst regions of the highly toxic debris that surrounds our city, the so-called Kipple. Just how much progress has been made since then? We spoke to the governor just before his weekly meeting with the city council.
Our studies have shown that the Kipple's effect upon Los Angeles is minor. The radiation and toxic waste is contained in relatively small pockets, all miles distant from the city center. Nevertheless, cleaning things up out there is a worthwhile goal, especially with the thousands of specials living on the city fringes. For now, all I can say is that we're looking at several options, and I'm sure everyone will be pleasantly surprised by our final proposal.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete. Scanning video disk. One enhanceable image found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Hawker's Circle. Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Animoid Row. Give me a hard copy of that.
Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. Give me a hard copy of that.
China bar.
That guy sure gets around. Give me a hard copy of that.
China bar. Hawker's Circle.
She looks familiar. Give me a hard copy of that.
Uploading. Downloading. Clue data.
The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. Kingston Kitchens. Where have I heard that before? You keeping busy, pal?
Nah, the place has been pretty quiet the last...
Roof.
Not good time now. Come back later. 你個細蚊仔喺邊度啊？你喺呢度啦，咪快啲嚟呢度啦。咁靚仔啊！你個 iris 呢真係大啦。
Excuse me.
Deliveries to where?
LPD, I got a couple of questions.
Always talk. You wait. You no take up time. Busy.
Marcus Eisendaler is dead.
Okay, we talk. Quick, come. What you want?
You were close to Eisendaler?
Eisendaler? No time for him. No go to lab. Eisendaler test off-world gravity to work important organs. Visual center, you see?
Marcus is dead.
To work hard all night, all day, no stop, no break, no OT.
Did you hear me?
Of course I hear you. You think I'm deaf? Your time more important, huh? Eisendaler dead. Miraji may be dead. You out chasing skirts.
Miraji?
You eat supper with Miraji every night, no fail. Sometimes Chinese, sometimes Indian, sometimes home cooked. Sometimes we go up and eat with twins.
Miraji didn't show. Did you call him?
Call. I knocked. 10 minutes ago. Door locked. No answer. Where you come from, huh?
What?
Nothing.
Tell me this.
Hey, wait. LPD, you there for something, huh? LPD? I'm very busy. Eyes won't wait for nothing.
Tell me this.
Hey, wait. LPD, I'm very busy.
What's going on? Who did this?
Help me, sir. Please, help me. It is going to blow.
Wait, maybe I can disarm it.
No! There is no time! And he said, if you touch it...